Welcome back to No Man's Sky, everyone. Jason here, and we are going to be doing the new Breach expedition, the Halloween expedition for 2025 in No Man's Sky. So, you can, as with all current expeditions, like every expedition for the last year or so, you can jump into like a main save and play it from there. Go to the space anomaly. You can turn on and go through your expedition there. However, if you've played No Man's Sky for any like lengthy period of time, you know that it's buggy. So I always recommend your first run through, go through a new game. It's a fresh save. If anything goes wrong, you can trash that save. It's not going to cost you anything. If something goes wrong like on your 177-hour save, it's going to be kind of bad. So always. I mean, you could also back up your saves, like if you're on PC, or put it up in the cloud if you have a console, but just save yourself the headache, do a new game, and you will, if it runs great, awesome, jump back in with your normal save after you finished, and you can do it again with your normal save. You can probably do it faster because you'll know what to do. Anyway, it is a 3-week-long expedition that starts on October 22nd. That was yesterday, Wednesday. So we're going to jump in here, Expedition 20, and this is another awesome Corvette, like focused expedition. We're actually going to be going to different systems and picking up pieces for a Corvette because they've added new pieces for Corvettes. It's pretty awesome. We're all going to start on the same planet. This is like the expedition planet that everyone starts on. So with every expedition, I would always recommend run around a little bit, collect your resources, because you're going to need a lot of stuff to like get you through the expedition. We're talking tons of carbon, tons of ferrite dust, all that kind of stuff. You know, the basic things. So we're going to start off here, and you want to get to your ship really quickly because the reward for getting to your ship is a personal refiner, a backpack refiner, which is awesome, very useful. Well, let's see what character I'm going to be. So your character, like the look of your character, the look of your ship is all going to be cosmetically different. Your multi-tool will look different than mine, but we're all going to have the same upgrades and same equipment. There we are. So you'll see, like we should all have the same like upgrades and stuff like that. You'll have like a B-class jetpack. You'll have all this stuff. I would highly recommend moving your stuff around. Use your supercharged slots if you want to. Same thing for your multi-tool. Like they give you a weapon and a weapon upgrade, but they're not together. Always bunch up your technologies because that helps you. Actually, yeah, we'll do this. Boom, we'll put that in the corner right there. All right, we're just moving stuff around. And if you don't know what I'm doing, you see that there's a highlighted box around that technology, that little square. That means that it's next to a similar object upgrade, and they're giving each other a boost. So right now, you'll see my damage potential is 1347. If I just move it, it didn't even go up. Dang it, it should have gone up. It didn't go up. Oh, well, it usually goes up. If you see a highlighted box, that means you're getting extra stats. In this case, it didn't because this is probably a really bad upgrade. Yeah, there's not even any damage on here. It's just recoil, burst, and shot. Yeah, that's not a good upgrade. But it's a free upgrade, so that's okay. Anyway, let's go to our ship. Our ship is going to be marked right there along the way. Grab some stuff. You can scan some stuff, get some money that way. But we're going to be trying to do that. Oh, yeah, and by the way, if you've not done an expedition before, if this is one of your first ones, this is a different mode. We have actually like mission objectives to go do. And if you do them, you will earn rewards. So if you hit your pause button, you'll notice there's a new tab called Expedition. And this will give you missions to do. And they put them in order of easier to more difficult. So by the time you get down to phase 5, these are really hard to do, but you should be prepared because you've done all the stuff before it and you've gotten rewards. So like, for instance, our first objective is to go find our ship. All we have to do is go over and walk to our ship. And when we do that, we will get a backpack refiner and launch fuel for our ship. So they give you rewards for everything you do. If I leave the planet, I repair my ship and I leave the planet, I'm going to get a base computer and hyperdrive plans. So everything you do here is going to give you a reward that will help you later on And so by the time you're down here in phase 5, you'll have a ton of rewards, a ton of upgrades, and this will all be way easier to do. Now, if you want to be hardcore about it, you could skip all of that. Like, if you want to say, hey, look, I'm going to go catch fish right now, you can. It's going to be very hard because you're going to have to get the blueprint for your fishing pole, build your fishing pole, and then go find water. But if you wanted to, you could totally do that right now. And so you'll notice that we do some of these out of order, but I'm going to try to do a lot of them within the order that they're given. That way it's a little bit easier to follow along. But some of them are really easy, and you don't think about it. Like, if you're a brand new player, you won't know some of the tricks that we can do in-game to get them done on a little easier scale. So another thing to keep your eye on is these plants right here with the exclamation point. These are hazardous flora, so if you get too close, they hit you and they hurt you. So you don't want to get too close to them. But if you destroy them, you'll get oxygen, which is really useful. Let's get some carbon. We're going to need that. Ferrite dust, and I can scan this and see what we get. So dihydrogen, I mean, that's fine. Let's grab that while we're here. Alrighty, so let's start making our way to our ship. The other thing you want to do is collect some items to sell. You want to collect spare items, that way you can sell it and make money, because the expedition is actually in abandoned mode, which means there's no aliens here. There's no other intelligent alien life forms. Like, there's animals, like, running around, like birds and stuff, but there's no intelligent, I'm obviously intelligent, intelligent life forms around. Oh, look at this. I think I need advanced mining beam. Yeah, dang it. Runaway mold, and I can't even use it. I don't have an advanced mining beam. Dang it. But because it's abandoned mode, that means your stores are going to be limited. All of the merchants, all of the kiosks, the trading terminals, they're going to be very limited on what they can give you. So you need to save up your money and buy some good stuff when you can, because one terminal might have all the stuff you need. The next terminal will have nothing. It'll just be dirt. It'll just be ferrite dust. And so whenever possible, you want to stock up on money, because you never know when you're going to run into a terminal that's really, oh my God, that's really, really cool. Thank you for the heart attack, you frickin' rock. You never know when you're going to run into like a terminal that has all the good stuff in it. Now, I say that. We kind of do know. I know that there's chromatic metal in the first space station terminal. But either way, normally if you're playing through and you're not using a guide, you wouldn't know that. So always try to plan ahead. Let's jump, get here. Carbon. Beautiful. And then we're going to get the cobalt, because we can make batteries out of the cobalt. Are you kidding me? There is a literal grave right there. Are you kidding me? Oh, my God. Guys, you don't know how hard it is to find a grave when you're not looking for it. If I'm doing like a fugitive run or a special challenge mode where we're looking for graves, it'll take me 10 hours to find one. I start up the expedition, 5 minutes in, I'm getting a grave. What the heck is that about? All right. Well, I'm already like, holy cow, man. How lucky can you get, Jason? Unknown grave right next to your spawn. That's crazy. So if you don't know, in No Man's Sky, unknown graves are very hard to find on your own, and they're very useful because they will give you a randomized upgrade for your character. So if you run into one, what is this trash? Did they give me an explorer? An asymmet. I was enjoying this expedition until they started giving me that stuff. All right. So I have an asymmetrical. That's okay. You know what? We have an unknown grave over here. I'm going to focus on the positive. Focus on the positive, not the trash they gave me. Anyway, an unknown grave is hard to come by normally. Like, you're not going to just trip over these like I'm doing right now. This is very lucky, so I am not going to waste this opportunity. I'm going to grab this thing. And again, just like I said in the beginning, grab all your materials. Grab your carbon, because carbon you cannot buy from a terminal, and you don't know if the terminal is even going to have anything for you. So collect all of what you can now. I would highly recommend getting like copper, because we're going to need to make some chromatic metal. Quartzite would work too. That's a good metal. Well, let me grab this. I'm on a mission now. I'm like, dude, I got a grave over here. Are you kidding me? This is amazing. Oh, look, we have water down there. If I had a fishing pole, I'd be able to fish in that water. Oh, look, we got beetles here. That's pretty cool. All right, so this is not part of the expedition. This is just a random thing I ran into along the way. So there's always going to be a traveler. It's literally a grave for a traveler. So you can talk to them, and you say, hey, I'll take your glyph, and I'll take your technology. And there we go. I got a memory fragment, which is this. If you open it up, I got a radiation protection module. I'll take that. That's pretty good. Open up those. We're good. We're good. All right. So that was worth it. But yeah, so while we're out and about, also look for either copper or if you find quartzite, that's very important too. You can turn that into metal as well. Chromatic metal. So we're going to need a lot of chromatic metal. So there's my ship over there. It's a 500 away. And I have a quartzite deposit right next to my ship. Are you serious? Okay. Let's get to my ship. Because remember, we get a reward for getting to our ship. We don't even have to fix it. Just getting close to your ship will give you the reward. So you definitely want to do that. Let's grab some oxygen while we're here. I know. Snap on me. Grab all that carbon. Grab all these. All the ferrite. You don't really need to worry about the ferrite dust because, again, the space station will have a lot of it. But always, you know, while we're out and about, let's get some money. So if you find these smoking machines, there's always a buried technology around it. Right here. Crack these open because you can sell this for a good amount of money. So crack those damaged machines open. Yeah, it's like literally right next to my ship. Are you serious? Is it actually a thing? Is it actually one? No, it's not. Why are you gonna fake me out like that? Look at this. There's nothing here. Now, I say there's nothing here. There's probably one piece. I'm gonna get one quartzite out of this. Whole big pile right here. Did I get one? I didn't even get one. Look at that. There's nothing in there. That's a bold-faced lie. Let's get another buried technology here. There we are. You could also open these up because these damaged machineries can have like an upgrade, but most of the time they'll give you nanites. Like I got a nanite stock from that. There we go. Reached my starship. I didn't even touch it yet. Let me do this. Oh, wait a minute. Let me accept my reward here. I'm going to get my backpack refiner and launch fuel for my ship. Beautiful. So let's install my backpack refiner. Now, you don't want to stack this into your supercharged slot. It does not do anything to it. It literally has no effect on your backpack refiner. No effect whatsoever. So don't even worry about it. And let's make some ferrite. Pure ferrite right there. So we're going to need some metal. And quartzite's over here. Supposedly it's over here. Let's see if they fake me out again with another fake one. Oh, no, that looks like legit. There's actually quartzite there. So thank God for that, I guess. The other thing we need to make is we need to make some condensed carbon. So let's pull that out. And let's put all our carbon in there. You can always get more because it's all over the place. All these plants around. But this is what we're here for. So this is quartzite, which is a very, very advanced metal, which means we're going to get a lot of chromatic metal out of this deposit right here. So we're going to try to grab up as much as we can. You can use a smaller terrain manipulator. So you see the orb? It gets bigger and smaller. If you use the smallest one, you'll get the most resources out of it. I go with the medium size because I'm impatient. And I just want to get it done. I want the material, but I don't want to take a year to get it either. So I'm just using the medium size, which is like the average. This is the normal default setting. Not bad, but not great either. It's just in the middle. Done and done. So let me grab that, put that down in here. And quartzite will refine 1 quartzite to 2 chromatic metal. So this 300 will turn into 600 in here. Let me show you what I mean by that. I grabbed the quartzite, put it in there. It says 2 to 4. I don't know why they don't reduce that to 1 to 2. That drives me nuts. But 2 to 4. So 2 pieces of quartzite makes 4 chromatic metal. So you're basically doubling it. See, so it says 331 will turn into 660. They rounded down, obviously. But there you go. So I'll have a whole bunch of chromatic metal now. So I need more of this carbon. Beautiful. Give me all that carbon. We're going to need this for later on. There we go. Grab that. That. All right, we should be good. We should be good. I farmed up enough resources. We got to move on. I'll be here all day because I'm crazy. I will farm up a full, like, 9,000 stack of everything if I could. But I know you got to get stuff done and I got to get stuff done. So let's get this finished. Let's grab that out. So in order to fix our ship, we need pure ferrite, dihydrogen jelly. We have dihydrogen jelly right there. And we have our pure ferrite. We need a hermetic seal and metal plating. So hermetic seal is 30 condensed carbon. Metal plating should be 50 ferrite dust, the things we've been collecting. So, done. Oh, wait a minute, didn't do it. Done and done, and done and done. So now we're finished. We're done. We're finished. Let's get in here. Mother of the Moon. Launch your ship into space. There we go. Beautiful. So there we are. Wings in the dark. I left the planet. So beautiful. Done and done. And if you want to get a little bit of a head start, what you can do is, let me accept my reward. That's going to give me a base computer and the hyperdrive. We need to build a hyperdrive. So if you go to build your hyperdrive, it says you need microprocessors 5 and chromatic metal. That's why we picked up the metal, the quartzite, and turned it into chromatic metal. But we need the microprocessors. You can build them if you want to use it up. Or if you go to the space station, you can just buy the microprocessors. But before we go to the space station, that's the one I'm going to do. Let's head down to this planet right in front of us because this planet has salvageable scrap all over it. That is going to be useful for your corvette because we're going to have to build a corvette, right? So let's go down in here. And because we're in a normal spaceship, we can't get out and look around like in a Corvette. We're in a normal spaceship, which means we're going to have to land. That way we can see where the pieces are. Let's land here. Make sure my launch thruster is full. And if we look around a little bit, we should be able to find some. What the heck is that? All right. And absolutely nothing. Really? Really? We have no scrap right here? You are killing me, like literally killing me. All right. Well, there's no scrap here. Again, we're in a normal spaceship, so we can't get out and walk around and use autopilot or anything like that for our Corvette. And the fact that I landed in a spot that had nothing around me, holy macaroni. Yeah, we're going to land right here. Just because. Just because. Any scrap around? There's some over there. Boom. I'll mark it. While I'm here, though, I'm going to get that condensed carbon. We're going to need that later on. There we go. So let's go get that piece. Now, remember, you can get out and dig it out with your terrain manipulator. Or, if you don't want to deal with any of that, you can literally fly around. And then when you get close to it, you just shoot the ground. And you do splash damage, which will damage the container and give it to you. Oh, no. Did they change it? Oh, no. They fixed it. Oh, well, that exploit is done. It might be the container itself might be too deep, but, yeah, I think they fixed it. Look at that. We're not doing anything to it. Oh, did they upgrade that? They might have updated that. Well, dang. There goes an exploit. Oh, no. The container's too far down underground. Okay. So this is a weird one that's way deep down. It's probably at the base layer, which is going to make it impossible to get. Yeah, look at that one spawned up under the base layer. So this is bedrock. You can't go underneath that. So I'm not going to be able to get that one. So that's a special case. That's a rare one that will never be able to get grabbed up. Now I need to know if they've taken it away or not. I don't think they have. Oh my god, there's nothing here. Oh well, you know what? We're abandoning this. Let's go to the space station. We're gonna abandon the dang thing. Normally you could just shoot the ground and get it out. You probably can still. We'll try it a little bit later on. But for now, we're going to go into the space station. We can buy our microprocessors. We can also buy other parts, like we can buy chromatic metal. We can buy wiring loom. We're gonna need that. So while we're flying there, I'm crazy. I know. I gotta organize everything. So I need to move it all to where it needs to be. Every item has its place. And boom, 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 and over here, boom. Actually down there, because we need to make batteries. Right there. Beautiful. So that's all good. This is our fuel. So it's telling me, you see that box is highlighted? It's telling me I need to make nanotubes, that way I can make some microprocessors. I'm going to ignore that. I hate that they do that. They automatically pin recipes for you. I get that is, if you're a brand new player, you need that, but I wish it was an option to turn on and off. Turn off the auto pin. So if I go into my log, it'll show you right there. Boom. Unpin that formula. I don't need it. Don't need that mission. So first thing you want to do when you get to the space station is go over here to the left side if you're looking down the ramp. Right side if you're looking up the ramp to exit. This side of the space station, you should have 3 of these yellow boxes. 1, 2, and 3. So open those up because you will randomly get items. Like I got a cool launch thruster upgrade. I will take that. And I got a warp cell. So heck yeah. And I got dirt I can sell. Oh no, I got banned weapons. Oh man, look at that. I could sell that and make some money off of that. All right, we can also grab an exosuit upgrade if we have the money. I think we do. We do. Our first one is free. Yeah, that's fine. Right there. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we got our 2 supercharged, so we're good. All right, so we got our 3 boxes open. So now we go to the other side. This is where the sales terminal is. And remember, we're in abandoned mode, so every space station is going to look like this, and every sales terminal, every merchant terminal is going to actually be randomized to some weird objects. Not the normal stuff. You see, like right here, all this connection is lost. So we need to sell our salvage data. We need to sell our banned weapons. So now we're pretty set up for money here, but we need, before we do anything, we need to buy 5 microprocessors. We should probably buy some metal platings. You need to buy some wiring looms, so... Ooh, that's going to take most of my money right there. Let's do 4 of them. Buy whatever you want for like ferrite dust, cobalt. But you can also buy chromatic metal here. We have nanotubes here. So you have a lot of stuff to pick from here if you're trying to do, you know, like this. Boom. 29,000. We're going to need some silver. We don't have anything here. Like amino chamber is okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. So we got a good amount of stuff now, so we can make our hyperdrive. Hyperdrive's there. We got our fuel. We got lucky. We got a warp hypercore. So now we're full 100%. So we're good. We got that all fixed up, ready to go. This needs to go in there in my ship. That way I can hold it for later on. We have our cobalt we can make batteries for. That's why I picked it up. And so we have 3 left over. Not really worth it. You could sell it back. You get your 200 bucks back, but I'm not too worried about it. Get in your ship, and we need to warp to a new system. So let's do that. But before we do, if you want to get ahead of the curve a little bit, every time you go to a space station, there's an asteroid belt nearby. You see that? Every space, I shouldn't say every. 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time, you will find an asteroid belt right next to the space station. So if you're looking for asteroids, go to the space station because they're always right there. And we need to get, number 1, we need to get materials. These will give you silver, gold, tritium. But number 2, one of our milestones is to destroy 20 of these asteroids. So let's do that. Boom, boom, boom. So once you get your 20, you're good to go. I'm going to do a little bit more than 20 because, again, they give you gold, they give you silver. And this is a really good way to get all those materials that you need without having to buy them with money. So we're going to need gold, we're going to need silver. We're going to need tritium because that's our fuel for our ship. So you can just sit here and farm these asteroids for a little while and get a whole bunch of stuff. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, look at that. Boom, we got a good amount of silver here. Move that over here. We got a little bit of gold. But we got some gold nuggets, so that'll help out. We have some tritium right here. Look at that, 700 tritium. That's pretty good. We got some anomaly scanners as well. So yeah, just do this. Get your silver, your gold. It'll give you platinum as well, randomly. So you can get a whole bunch of good stuff out of here. All right, so we're good on that. Let's go to, move out of that way. Let's go to the next system. Let's warp to the next system. Actually, you know what? Is this a gas giant here? No, it's planetary anomaly. Okay, so not a gas giant. So that's okay. That was going to be for later on anyway, but we're good. Go to the next system right here. This is our next possible system. We don't have any upgrades or anything like that, so we have to go here. Boom. Again, we're right next to the space station, and look at that. There's asteroids right here. So you always, whenever you warp in, you're right there, right next to the space station. And here's all the asteroids. Between the stars. So let's accept that reward. That is going to give us a prepackaged atlantid drive. So this is very, very important. Grab that. We're going to need this to go to the first rendezvous. So this drive is the top tier drive. This is a purple drive. Now, keep in mind, let me take this out first. Let me show you why you want that. The high end, the top tier drive will let you go to any star system. Without it, if I try to go there, it says, sorry, cadmium drive required. If I go to green, sorry, you need an emerald drive. So there's different color drive. You got the red one, which is cadmium, the green, which is emerald, the blue stars, which is going to be a indium drive. You need all these different drives. However, what's it called? The atlantid drive is the top tier one. If you install that, now, if I go to my map, I can go to any system I want. See, red, nothing. It lets me go right to it. Green lets me go right to it. So you do not need any of these colored ones, any of the cadmium, any of the indium, or the emerald one if you have the atlantid drive. And that's a reward that you get. So that's very important. Keep track of that. You don't want to delete that. You don't want to sell it. So you'll see I can't go that far. If I try to go out here, it says out of jump range. So it's too far for me. But I'm allowed to go there because I have the atlantid drive. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You can totally do that. We can do all this. Get my fuel going here. So yeah, we're doing good. We have the atlantid drive. So now let's go to our galaxy map. Let's try to get to our first rendezvous. Down here. And the rendezvous, from what I remember, they are all in abandoned buildings. So, another way to make money. And if you want to, you can stop off, go to these space stations, because you can get the 3 yellow boxes that are in the space stations. You can totally do that if you would like. But yeah, all we need to do is go to that first rendezvous, because after we do that, we will get an important item called the debris rangefinder, and we're going to need that for the rest of the expedition. So you want to get there kind of quickly. One more jump. There we are. Beautiful. So let's stop off at the space station first. That's all good. That's all good. We got 775 chromatic metal. We got a lot. But we're going to need some stuff. Also, I forgot, we got our 20 asteroids, so that's in phase 2. That's a little bit out of order, but we're going to get the Nautilin platform, which is a submarine. We're going to need that later on. We also got the Nautilin upgrade. So this is an upgrade for your submarine. You don't need it now, so hold on to that for later on. So I put that away in my ship. So you can get that reward if you'd like. You don't need to. You can wait until you have to do the water, but you know. Open that. Open that. Where's my last box at? Oh, it's hid over here. It's hiding out. So we got we got a mining beam module. We got a mining beam upgrade. I'll take that. A little bit of an upgrade. It's not even a little bit. That's almost nothing. But that's okay. I'll take it. And we also, I think we can get an upgrade. We might not have enough money for it. Yep, we need 5,000 and I got nothing. So I can sell these for 100,000. I'll definitely do that. And let's see what we got here. There might be like ferrite dust is always great. You can always buy that. They're not going to sell you like carbon. They're not going to sell you oxygen. Those are hard things that you need to find on a planet, not in a terminal. But they will sell you ferrite dust. Oh, wait, I got to sell my stuff first. Sell those unstable gels. We don't need those. Now I can buy that. We're also going to need solar mirrors. So let's buy 5 of those. I think we're okay on everything else here. We can buy the salt. We're going to need that for later on. There we go. We don't need copper. We don't need pyrite. We need solar mirrors. We can make this later on, but it's always easier to buy it because then you don't have to make it. You don't have to collect the resources in order to make it. All right. So we got what we could. Again, I could have stayed on that first planet and really picked up a lot of stuff to sell. I didn't, but I would highly recommend you do that, especially if this is a fresh save. Absolutely. Go there and make sure to pick up all the items you possibly can. And here is our planet. It's a poisonous planet. It is a dissonance planet as well. And I believe this is also a what's it called? An extreme planet. So extreme planets are the only place you're going to be able to find what is in phase 4, which is storm crystals. This is what we need to find here. So if a storm happens while we're on the rendezvous number 1, take a minute to go look for storm crystals, because this is really hard to find randomly. Like, it is by design, they put the first rendezvous on a storm crystal planet. Take advantage of that. And it looks like there might be a storm brewing. You see the clouds are getting thicker on the planet. We might be right before a storm hits, which is awesome. I'll take that. Let's get in here. And maybe. Pop, there we go. So we have a storm here. Nope, it's just a cloudy day. That's fine. All right, and another thing is, guys, if you really want to nail down where the rendezvous is, this is gonna give you the actual the target sweeper, which I hate. I absolutely hate the target sweeper. However, there's a way around it. So if you're on a controller, you hit left on your D-pad, it'll bring up your HUD, right? At the bottom left-hand side of the screen, and I want to make sure you guys see this. Bottom left-hand side of the screen right there. Let me zoom in on this for you. Boom. Oh, my God. This is going to be terrible. Right there at the bottom left-hand side, you see it says alpha 66.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Target 978 units. That's how far away you are from the actual building that you're looking for. So if I go back in the game, you'll see I'm getting closer, right? So use that timer right there. It's the bottom left-hand side of your screen right there. Use that to your advantage. So just keep hitting left on your D-pad, and it brings up your HUD. And you'll notice I'm getting closer. So we're going to do this. 300 feet. And I'm literally not doing anything. Let me reset this for you. I'm not doing anything. I'm just flying. And then you'll see, oh, there's a building right here. I wonder if that's the building I need to go to. Let's land. I'm about, what, 41 feet away from it. That's probably the building I'm at. And there you are. It's marked right there. Rendezvous 1, right there. So use that bottom left-hand side. Again, remember, if you're on a controller, hit left on your D-pad, and it brings up your HUD with all that information up. So before we go inside, we have a mission to defeat 16 biological horrors. These are monsters that come up after you mess around with the whispering eggs. I would highly recommend you do that now. Just remember to keep your eye on the door. So make sure you know where the door is, because they will not hurt you when you're inside the building. So if you attack them and they start really messing you up, make sure to run inside the building right here. So let me show you what I mean. Attack the egg. Now we need to defeat these guys, so shoot them. We need to get 16 of these guys. But they're going to keep coming. Oh, now the Sentinels want a piece of me. Uh-oh. So if it gets overwhelming, like you're like, oh my God, these guys are going to kill me. Run inside the building right here. Look around for the whippy plant, because there's usually a whippy plant in here. And now we're safe. They cannot attack me, and I won't do anything to me. Like, they might spit through the door, but just stay away from the door. Like, hide yourself in a corner. And wait for everything to die down. Wait for your shield to come back, and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about them killing you. You're good. And we did do our rendezvous number 1. Look at that. Boom. Already done. We're going to get 5 inventory slots and the debris rangefinder blueprint and a craftable component. So here's our 5 slots for us. And the debris rangefinder. We need to get that. And look at that recipe. We need solar mirrors. That's why we bought them earlier. A quantum computer and metal plating. That's why I got all that stuff. That is why you want to grab that stuff when you can. And they give you all the recipes at the same time. So I can make a quantum computer. I can make a solar mirror. I can make all this stuff. So that's why you want to grab your materials. Again, grab as many as you can, because we're going to need to craft a whole bunch of those. Let's grab that. Research specimen. So while we're in here, let's do this. Another thing that is awesome about the No Man's Sky is, if you don't know how to make something, this is a huge tree to make this. We need to make solar mirrors. We need to make a quantum computer. We need to make metal plating. That's a huge list of things. If you press X if you're on Xbox, or square if you're on PlayStation, it brings up your tree. So now you know I need to make a solar mirror. I have 5 of them, but it tells you what you need. I need silver, gold, and chromatic metal. I need to make a quantum computer, which means I need microprocessors and antimatter. I need to make a metal plating, which means I need ferrite dust. So that's all of what you need for your blueprints. And they kind of give you the idea of make that, make that, make that. So now I can make one of these quantum computers. That is freaking awesome. I love this. One of these. One of these. One of these. Boom. Now I need a metal plating, right? Make a metal plating. So now I have one of all of these items, which will give me the debris rangefinder. There you go. Easy enough, right? Easy enough. Again, go into your tree, and this is the bottom of the barrel. This is what you need to make that. So these trees kind of line up. These two items make antimatter. You know, this is going to be needed to make their supercomputer. I wish they kind of separated this or put a box around it, because you only need ferrite dust to make metal plating. So there we go. There it is. Boom. So once you have these objects, it'll highlight what the next step is. So we know I can make that. It's a pull scene. So there you go. But before we go crazy, remember, we need to kill some of these biological horrors. So grab these guys right here. Need to grab these. And they're not that bad. We're playing on normal mode. But, I mean, I've been playing No Man's Sky forever, so I'm used to this kind of stuff. I play on extreme mode all the time. If it gets too much, like if they are attacking you and you're about to die, absolutely dodge back into the building. They will not get you in the building. It'll save your butt. It saved my butt a whole bunch of times. There we go. They feed. We already killed 16 of them. That was really quick. Well, while we're out here, though, I'm going to grab a whole bunch of these larval cores because I need it. And we're about to get a storm. Remember I said we need to pay attention to the storm because we have storm crystals around. You pull out your visor. Look for a lightning bolt. So that is not a lightning bolt. It'll be a yellow lightning bolt. It'll look like that, but it'll be a lightning bolt. Here comes the storm. It should be kicking in any time now. There it is right there. Boom. Storm crystals. We need to get these. So come on down here, and they're going to be all over the place. But remember, we're in the middle of a storm, so your hazard protection is going to go down very quickly. If you want to, jump in your ship and fly back, jump in your ship for safety and then fly around and grab these things. I'm going to do this by hand because I'm stupid. And I'm also lazy. I don't want to use up all my launch fuel. But you can, again, if you want to save your batteries or you don't want to deal with the hazard protection, you can just jump in your ship and then fly around to all of these. I'm going to blow through all of my batteries here, but that's okay. I'll make more. So I believe we need 8 or 7 of these storm crystals. So just keep looking for the lightning bolts. And they do glow as well, so you can kind of see them in the distance. You'll see them sparking like lightning. There you go, like that. So just come up and grab them. I believe that's like 7, so we probably need like 1 more. That's a debris. That's storm crystals right there. Excuse me, Sentinel. I'm here to get my storm crystals. Or the 1. There we go. 7. We only needed 7, so we're good. We are good. We don't need any more now. Absolutely awesome. Keep a reminder on radiant shards. We need to get this, but there's no way to get it now because we don't have an advanced mining laser on us. Let me get in my ship. Wait a minute. Let me get in my ship. Here we go. Now we're protected. I don't have to worry about the elements at all. But let's grab our reward. We got our debris field. We made one, so we're going to get a Corvette basic module. So we're going to need to build that. So it's going to give us all the building blocks for a Corvette. Look at that. Boom. All this good stuff in here. These are Corvette pieces right here. The other thing we need to do is grab our reward for killing the 16 biological horrors. We're going to get an inventory slot and a life support upgrade. We wanted to keep that. That'll be great. So let's put those up there. There. Beautiful. Nice and square. I like that. That gave me room for all my life support modules. So let's put those in. I got 3 of them. Beautiful. 1, 2, and 3. And technically, we could make an oxygen recycler. If you have the oxygen, absolutely do that. We also have the shield lattice. We don't need to worry about that yet. All right. And then finally, we also have our Shards of the Storm, which is going to give us 100 oxygen and a shield, an S-class shield. We definitely want to have that. And upgrades for our, what's it called? Upgrades for our, what was it? What'd I get? No, just oxygen and a defense upgrade. Okay, so just a shield. All right, I thought I read something else, but I guess not. All right, I'm going to put my shield in my supercharged slot because normally it would have 33% health and 30% shields. If I supercharge it, it's going to give me 41% health, 37% shields. So I'll take that. An extra percent, I'll take it. So we're doing good. We're doing good here. So now it is time for us to go up and build our first corvette in this expedition. So we need to go back to the space station now that we've kind of got everything going here. Let's go back to the space station over there. And you will be using your corvette for the rest of the expedition. So I would highly recommend, if you'd like, you can scrap your ship, this one right here, my Explorer, make some money off of it, get some upgrades out of it, and use those on your Corvette. Absolutely. So do not trade it for the Corvette. Get the Corvette additionally, and then sell or scrap your, your ship. You might have an Explorer, you might have a fighter, you might have a different ship than me. But sell yours. That way you can make some money off of it. Alrighty. So let's go down here. And we have all our pieces in our starship. I would highly recommend take it out of your starship. Put it in your inventory if you can possibly do that. The other thing I would say is if you have any good upgrades, take them out by pressing X or Y, excuse me, and put it in your general inventory. You'll know why in a minute. I would say take my rocket launcher as well. We don't need to take the Atlantid drive. Don't worry about that. That'll give it to you when you build your Corvette. But take out anything that you want to keep and put it in your general inventory. And so we took out all of the upgrades, like our ship. They don't have any good upgrades, but we don't need an Atlantid drive. You can take it out if you feel like you need to keep it. But I'll tell you right now, you don't need to. They'll give you one. But let's come over here to the Corvette building workshop terminal. Let's create a new Corvette. So first things first, press Y or triangle if you're on PlayStation, bring up your menu. And there are some required parts. Number one, you need landing gear. That way your ship can land. Then you need a hab. That way you can actually live in there. You have an actual case for that. Boom, like that. We need to put in a cockpit. That way we can fly. We need to put on a landing bay. That way we can get into our ship. We need to put on engines. So you only need one engine, but I like to keep it like 2 engines just because I'm weird like that. The other thing is you need to put on a weapon. Doesn't matter which one it is. They give you a photon cannon by default. And you need a reactor. Once you have all those pieces, you see the top right, it says, hey, finalize, because you have a ship. You've built everything. You're good to go. The last thing I would highly recommend doing is painting it. Paint it a cool color. So let's make ours this orange. And we're going to go all of it orange and all of it metallic. So we have a metallic orange ship. I like that. That's pretty good. So now, there you go. We've painted our ship fully. Press start. There you go. No, wait a minute. I don't see an Atlantid drive in here. Really? We're going to have to take off an Atlantid drive, huh? I don't see an Atlantid drive anywhere. All right, well, let's compare. And this is why you want to add to your collection. Do not swap it, because if you swap it, it gets rid of your old ship. You do not want to do that. However, if you press left and right on your D-pad, it'll switch pages. You can also do that up here as well. Select which one you want. And if you're in the cargo, you can literally just quick transfer it over to your new ship. There you are. Easy peasy, right? Add to my collection. So now this is my ship. And now we do have an Atlantid drive. Why did they do that to me? They freaked me out a little bit. I thought they were going to screw me over and not give me an Atlantid drive. They didn't, thank God. So we have our Atlantid drive. That's the most important piece. But you can go through and organize all of your stuff together. So I would highly recommend putting on more reactors. That way you can get more distance if you want. You can put our engines together with our engine. Our weapon, our turret with our weapons. You know, things like that. You want to put similar items together. So there you go, like that. Boom. So we're kind of all together on this. The hab doesn't really... Like, it's not going to help me out very much. Let's put that in there. There we go. I also picked up some other weapons, so we can do that. Yeah, we'll put all our weapons over here. We got our launch thruster upgrade. So actually... There. That way it's together over there. This is, remember, that's our submarine upgrade, so we can't use that on a ship. So we're all good. We're set up. We're good to go. We can put all this stuff into our starship. Get rid of it. Starship, starship, starship. That's what I'm doing. I'm just moving it all over. That way I don't have to carry it in my inventory. And before we get too far, remember, we're going to scrap our old ship. We're going to scrap it. We got everything out of it we don't need. So we're all good. We built our corvette. We moved everything over to our corvette. We can also accept the reward for our building our corvette. We got a powerful frost protection. Yes, you want to get that. Now, you don't need two of them. You can use two of them if you want to, like this. But you don't need two frost protections. You don't. It's always cool to have, but if you're running out of room, you only need one, really. But if you come over here, it'll say, hey, do you want to scrap your corvette? No, we don't want to do that. Press down on your D-pad. Summon in your mothership. So that way we know the mother of the moon is here. Don't worry about this. There's a weird bug where it's duplicating items. We're not gonna keep this. If you want to, you can move this over to your inventory, but I'm not gonna do that. It's a bug right now that is probably gonna get fixed and patched, but as of right now, look, it's duplicated everything. We're not worried about that. We took everything off we need. We just want to make sure that that's our ship that's highlighted. We come over here. That's the picture that's on the ship outfitter. And then if we go to begin salvage, it'll say, are you sure you want to claim it? It's going to give you $2 million. Yes, absolutely. Yep, Mother of the Moon. All cargo will be destroyed. Yes. So after you do that, they give you a whole bunch of stuff. And look at that. I got a pulse engine upgrade and a hyperdrive module. We want to put that on our Corvette. So the Nemesis of the Void is our Corvette. We want to put that in here. Same thing with the pulse engine module. There you go. So we got free upgrades and we made money. And we made money. So let's go back over here. And we are going to sell the pieces of our ship because you cannot use this for anything else. It's just valuable loot, basically. The only thing you need it for is trading for money. That's it. So we're going to come over here. We're going to sell it. Right here, spool of nano cables. Subatomic regulators. Done. We're going to buy the microprocessors that we need. We're going to buy the ferrite dust and the cobalt for batteries. We have our solar mirrors. We don't need any more of these. If you want to, you can buy the copper. and you can refine that into chromatic metal if you wish. We have our salt in here. We have tritium. We can use that for fuel. And we're good. We are set, ready to go. So now I just gotta hoof it all the way back there. Let me throw that in my refiner. You could use it on your ship refiner, but I like using the backpack simply because I don't have to worry about getting up and going to a special place. It's just in my inventory, which is kind of nice. I still think the backpack refiner is the best refiner in the game. Absolutely, because it takes fuel. Don't get me wrong. The one on the ship is free. You don't have to fuel it up. But you still have to go to your ship. You still have to get out and interact with it. Whereas the one in my backpack, I literally just open up my inventory and it's right there. The other thing you might want to consider, if you have the money, we can go to purchase modules, basic modules, and we can do a Medusa class reactor. If you'd like, because if we go to modify, you can literally go pick the Medusa, and it tells you, it gives you an engine upgrade. If you put more Medusa reactors on there, it'll give you more of an upgrade for your engines. If you want your hyperdrive to get better, you want the Zenith class reactors right here. So every one of these pieces will give you a different upgrade. That'll give you 10% more shields. The high energy shields, surprisingly, give you shields, right? So all these upgrades will give you more stats on your ship. Your engines will make your engines better. You know, your landing gear is your launch thruster, things like that. So that's why you might want to consider buying more pieces if you need, like if you want more maneuverability, buy pieces that do that. Buy engines. If you want more weapons, like for instance, you want more damage, buy the weapon you like. Photon cannon will give you more photon cannon damage. If you want shields, buy shields, things like that. So if you want to, if you have the money and you want to, absolutely go do that. But we are now on to the final part of phase 1, which is search for a wreckage. So we need to go out into space right now. And we need to scan for debris. So the only way to do that is to use our debris rangefinder. So activate it by pressing X on Xbox or square on PlayStation. And now, just like the anomaly finder, we need to pulse drive. We need to zip out of here. And while we're basically pulsing through, it will warn us by telling us, hey, we found something, and you stop. There it is. And there is the new item that they added with the update. We now have crashed corvettes that are just randomly popping in. And we need to go out there and claim some parts from it. So we need to leave the pilot seat. Open our back hatch. And float over there to it. So look at this wreckage. And you can do a scan. And it'll tell you there's 2 pieces. There's always 2 pieces. 2 component housings. And you need to use your laser for this. So if you use your laser on it, it'll crack it open and you will get random Corvette parts from it, which is really, really cool. Oh, look at that. I got a Thunderbird Heavy booster. Nice. The other thing you want to look for is there is a radio transmission around here somewhere. There it is right there. The log is there's always going to be 2 parts that you can blow up and get pieces from and a singular log floating around. So let me grab this. We have the crew log. Captain found a something on the last walk out. Says it'll bring us luck. We'll need it. Cruise has been a waste so far. All the asteroids are just dust and ice. Nonsense, but better than nothing. So that's a random log. There you go. We have a storyline for the Arcadia. And I mean, and while we're out here, you can try to get this asteroid here. I have a feeling it's going to take me forever to break this thing open. Is it actually going to do anything? I don't think so. And the other thing is you can't go inside the wreckage. So you can try, but it's sealed off. You'll notice it's sealed off here. There's no way to get inside. And if you look through the cockpit, you'll notice it's walled off behind it as well. So there's no interior for this Corvette. So yeah, you see how there's a wall right there behind the cockpit chair? So there's no getting inside these Corvettes. They're just kind of debris that's loose. And it's cool, it's interesting, but you can't go inside of it and like search it like you can for like a derelict freighter. But we got that, so let's get into our ship. Done and done. Close that hatch. And we are good. That is the first phase done. We're going to get advanced mining lasers and a aquajet. Yes, I'll take an aquajet. So we're going to need to put those aquajets on. So make sure you go in and grab your aquajet. Install it on your Corvette because we need to land on water for the next phase, which is going to be phase 2. Oh, yeah, by the way, after you complete the entire phase, they give you a phase reward. In this case, phase 1 is going to be posters. So we claim those. And they're pretty cool. The Event Horizon poster, really? Let me put a Event Horizon poster on my wall. Let me do that. That's not ominous at all. Event Horizon, really? If you guys have not seen the movie Event Horizon, I suggest you keep it that way. Don't do it. That movie will scar you for life. But I'm going to put mine up right there. So I have an Event Horizon poster now on the wall. But thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching the video. If you did like the video, hit that like button. And in the next episode, we will try to complete more of phase 2. We're getting a little bit of the advanced stuff done early. So I think we'll be able to knock out phase 2, maybe even phase 3 in the next episode. So I will see you guys next time.